Welcome back to the Parked Clubhouse, Sandbaggers. We are back here, and it's been a huge few weeks in the land of the chains, and we're going to bring all that to you tonight and more. We've had tournaments in Melbourne in the last 2 weeks. Melbourne Disc Golf Club's managed to find a bunch more 67-metre par threes in the past 2 weeks. The European Open changed the rules of a hole so you couldn't bottle it, and Evelina Salonen still managed to bottle it on that same hole. So we're going to talk about all that and more tonight, and we've also got some great tournaments coming up. We've got a big trip coming up, which we're going to talk about. But before I throw to the couch, hit that like button, share the stream in your stories, get your disc golf mates watching, joining in live. You can interact with us in the chat. Kyle is going to be watching that. And we'll show you some choice questions on screen, as always. Choice questions, choice responses. And if you really like it, help keep the doors open and the cameras rolling and my helmet on by joining the Parked Media Patreon. The link to which you can find in all of our bios. I think it's there, right? Yeah, cool. Awesome. And on our YouTube page and all that shit. We'll be releasing early look footage on there, probably. Alternative commentary eventually. And giving our Patreon members the chance to take part in any park shenanigans we think of at tournaments around the country. We've also got Kyle's incredibly detailed parked rating spreadsheet, which has been really popular over the last few weeks. And hit us up if you want help to get on that Patreon. We appreciate the support. To the couch now. And down the end tonight, back in his most comfortable position, it's the Lord of the Long Putts, the ex-Baron of the Buffont, Disc Golf Warehouse's Kyle Herbertson.
G'day, Ashley.
How are you, Kyle? What have you been up to this week, Kyle?
I got a haircut.
Right, yeah, you ruined my joke.
Suggested. I've been revisiting some old footage from New Zealand. We'll soon be out on Gatekeeper. But, yeah, I've just been having a good time.
Amazing. Doing what it is you do. All right. In the I'll believe it when I see it on camera category, is a man who's taken a few weeks off the couch to look after his back, which has involved a hell of a lot of lying flat on the very same thing. It's the man no one noticed was missing, the Lion of Stony Creek, Jindy Disc Golf Shop's most immobile representative, Matty Faz. How are you, Matty? How's the back?
Yeah, it's terrible, but it's good to be back.
Oh.
Look, I truly believe in, the economic theory of scarcity, so the less of me you get, the more valuable it is when I can actually sit for more
You're doing a great job of that.
Yeah.
than 20 minutes straight.
Yeah.
No, I'm off the depressive nerve blockers now, and I'm feeling back to myself. And thanks to to anyone who reached out over the last couple of weeks.
People
Mum,
reached
Dad,
out. Oh, Mum and Dad, right.
Dylan Feldman.
Good on you, Dill. It's good to hear, Matty, that Dylan reached out, got in touch, because he's a man after your own heart, or after your own back, really. But I will take this opportunity to remind you of another economic principle, Matty, is supply and demand. And you actually need both for an economy to function. So there you go. Now, finally, a man whose back isn't long enough or straight enough to cause any significant issues. A man who is pleading with every disc golfer in Australia to slide into his DMs. And the man who blamed his substandard putting on the CrowdStrike outage last weekend. It's Jindy Disc Golf's marquee signing. Jindy Disc Golf's answer to Dylan Shield, Jason Weidner.
Oh, hey, Ash. Good to see you. Yeah, welcome back, Matty.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
We've had a few tournaments, and
We have?
We've got a few coming up, so there's plenty happening, and of course, with some shanks coming up later on. So stay tuned.
Brilliant. Tuned, toned, and terrific. Ready for those shanks. Fuck, that wasn't on the sheet. All right. So we've got a lot to get through tonight. And we thank you for joining us at this slightly different time. We're trialing a few different things. Matty's going to go. We're trialing a few different things this couple of weeks because there's always going to be challenges. So thanks for joining us.
I feel like Matty's the one doing the trialing, actually.
Matty does a lot of trialing. Matty does more trials than Julian Knight.
I like to experiment, ask most of the people in my life.
It's a lot of trials and a lot of error.
Let's not go into justification of that, please.
Matty likes to experiment. What did you have for dinner tonight, Matty?
I had a quick cooked Scotch fillet on 2 bits of bread and barbecue sauce.
And for the last 3 nights?
Well, I was out last. So
Right.
I'm back to the land of the living, so I'm off the chicken schnitzel and veg for a little bit. I want to live again.
Well, we apologise to we apologise to everyone for Matty Faz. But for our earlier time slot, we apologise to our WA viewers that don't work from home and hope you enjoy tuning in later this evening. We'll make it up to you over there in WA, we promise, but more on that later. We have a few tournaments to recap. We've got a major and a Vic Tour event to preview, as well as all your favourite segments and Media Watch. So we'll keep it moving. But before I do, we have a few apologies to make. One of them, and this comes from me and the team, all of us here. One of them's to Joe Paul, who we mentioned in the MJ15 as the MJ15 champion of the Queensland Open. And when we did, we mentioned that the lower divisions, or the lower and the lower age protected divisions, played a mix of the red and blue tees, or just all reds. The reds being the closer tees, the blues being the longer ones in that setup. But Joe did not. So Joe apparently played or opted to play the blues every day of
wasn't
that.
Joe in MJ15?
Joe was in MJ15, yes.
And he opted to play the harder ones.
He opted to play the harder ones.
That's
yeah.
immense. That's huge.
Yeah, and so I think it was Joe's mum, sister, something. She didn't quite identify what her relationship was, but it wasn't Joe. Inboxed us after the last episode and let us know that. And so, yeah, apologies to you, Joe. I've done a bit of math, which wasn't hard, but he opted to play the blue tees every day, and that would have had him winning MA3 by 12 strokes, who also played the blues every day. Right? It would have had him placing second in MA2 by 3 strokes and placing second in MA1 by 5 strokes. So, yeah, equivalent course. So, yeah, incredible work from Joe. But it's time to move up, mate, and stop sandbagging. All right. Now, but well played.
Protected division.
Yeah, you can.
There's a limit to this sandbagging difference, right?
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, I'm sure the guys in Queensland are stoked that they'll probably have Joe in MA3 and MA2 over the next couple of years. They'll be stoked about that. The other apology we're going to put out now, this is a bit of a strange one. It's to the Frollers podcast. Now, they pointed out something during the week on the Frollers. If anyone out there listens to the Frollers podcast, please let us know how to find it. But the others to the Frollers podcast here in Melbourne, I understand their listener may or may not be watching tonight, but we do need to apologise, and this is from one and from all of us. We tried something new prior to the Big Wet, okay? And we tried to do something. I'll just play the audio, all right?
Yeah, it's difficult.
Did you see the Dan Frost roasting of Parks Media?
No.
The hatchet job. So they do predictions. Well, they did. At least they've been doing predictions lately. And after Austin D'Alessandro is just
that sounds
pounding.
familiar.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? After Austin's pounding. Fuck, man, I want a horn. I want a horn so bad.
Right. I must have messed up splicing the audio together there. But we had Alan Brunsting talking about Dan Frost's incredible video of us not getting the Drizzler right. And then we had Chris, when Alan mentioned our predictions, pointing out that it sounded familiar. And I'm going to take that information to say they believe that we might have lifted that idea from them. So, guys, look, honestly, we don't know what to say here. It's from the bottom of our hearts that we mean this. We're deeply sorry if you felt we'd taken your idea. We didn't intentionally plagiarise your concept of making a prediction of the outcome or outcomes of a sporting event, your original concept, nor did we do this with malice. Where the idea came from, we really can't say, except for perhaps it came from every fucking sporting show, podcast, office tipping competition, media article since time immemorial. Again, apologies. Now, a word from our sponsors.
Let's keep it to 4 legs then. Team, lock and load.
Make group betting look easy with Sportsbet's Bet with Mates. Start a group and build a multi together. Only with Sportsbet.
Yeah, you might want to get onto them too, guys. They tend to prognosticate on the outcome of sporting events, so they might have lifted your idea as well. Right. Well, it comes to that time of the week, sandbaggers, where we cast an eye to what's going on in the world of disc golf media. To the man that trawls the darkest corners of the internet so that you don't have to, and because he wants to, it's Matty Faz and...
You break every step you take. I've been watching you.
Thank you, Ash. I'm still unaware if we actually got a rating on this show. I don't really know how hard or how dark I can go with my digging, but I'll keep it family friendly.
We had
for
a
now.
ratings jump when you weren't on here. I know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You didn't show me those stats. Okay, first up, we have a post from one of my favorite guys in Australian disc golf, and I'm going to ask a pretty loaded question at the end of this little bit here. Reese Wiz, MPO player, obviously, shared this, I guess, self-made meme about himself. He's circling there at 12 on a par 5, so it's taken him 12 shots to complete a par 5. Now, he's clearly shat the bed here. And look, far be it from me, someone who's shot 13 on a par 3 before, to throw any shade. But I love the little name he's come up with for himself there. Reese, well, you can't really say it, but as a visual joke, it works really well.
Very good. Very clever.
Yeah, you understand that, right?
Yeah.
The 1 and the 2.
So he's taken the I and the Z and he's...
Yeah, it's sort of like what people do on number plates sometimes.
Yep.
Substitute numbers for letters. I had a good yuck at this, but it got me thinking, with Reese Witwelvniski as one of the new, I guess, derogatory nicknames in Australian disc golf, what are some of the better ones that you guys have heard? And I put this question out to our viewers as well. Share it in the chat if you know of any. A couple that I've heard, one for myself, obviously my full name's Matthew Farina. Someone in a group chat changed my name to Matthew 13er.
That was quite funny.
Pretty funny, yeah.
That was me.
There's the notorious 10 Bowen from...
10 Bowen, yep.
I think that was also from Mount Gambier.
That was.
Following
If
year,
I'm
yes.
wrong,
You're
yeah. Any other derogatory or negatively geared nicknames in Australian disc golf?
No.
Turbo Herbo? No, it's not.
Turbo Herbo.
You have to feel like that's derogatory.
No.
Alan Brunstein says it.
Jade Brady has come up with this, though, in the chat. The number plate analogy is appropriate because it was a car crash.
Nice.
I like it.
Nice.
Guys, if you've got any other nicknames out there,
Yeah, we'll keep
Reese Witwelvniski's, obviously you can't say it with a lot of humor, but you know, the 10 Bowens and Matty 13ers, let us know. I'd love to know. Also, is Reese the funniest guy in Australian disc golf?
Oh, I
I
don't
think
know.
when it comes to his online presence, I don't think there's...
He does have some skills online. Frosty came pretty good during the week, but Reese is very consistent with his video work for sure.
Nah, Reese is a funny guy. Keep up the good work, Reese Wiz. All right, let's take our attention to one of our favorites, Flying Disc Store, their Instagram activity recently. Now, the thing I like about their Instagram activity is that it's multifaceted. It's a bit of what they stock. It's a bit of inspirational stuff. It's a bit of just general tips and advice and musings regarding disc golf, of course. But lately, they've taken on this sort of motivational presence in the Australian disc golf social media space. So posts like you see on the screen here, they've got, I guess, little platitudes that often have some wordplay or some rhyme. So let your passion for the game take flight, just like a disc does, Jakes. Take flight.
Yeah, very clever.
In every spin, find your win. That one could be applied to roulette too, I think. And the other one there, in the world of disc. No, what does that say? Yeah, in the
I
world.
hope it says disc, Matty.
In the world of disc, every spin
brings a win.
So they've got to get a little more creative with their rhyming there. They've run with spin and win twice. That's my first criticism. But it got me thinking. Can we be a little more motivational as a Parks Media team online? I feel like we're a bit one-dimensional. So we sat down as a team this week and came up with, well, when I say as a team, mostly Ash and I, and came up with a couple of platitude posts that might motivate and inspire ourselves. The first one. If you chain out, don't blow your brains out. Pretty simple. Life's not that bad. Keep your composure, bounce back. The second one. If you shoot a 13, people will be mean. Don't shoot 13s. Bottom line there. Unrelenting callousness from the Australian disc golfers. The third one we came up with. One in the drink is better than two in the stink. Just because you put one in the water
I'm on the edge here. I feel like you're building towards something.
Just because you put one in the water doesn't mean it's the end of your day, is all I'm saying. Shittier things can happen, no pun intended. And the last one, and one that should raise everyone up from the doldrums of failure whenever they do come across it on the disc golf course, is never hit an ace. At least you don't throw like Jace. So if you're still chasing
that's very funny. That is very funny, Matty.
I thought so myself. If you're still chasing that elusive ace, guys, don't worry. It's not all bad.
I got an 11 in that round.
Is there a nickname there?
Probably.
Jason Lavender.
It's a visual gag. We'll workshop it. All right. My next piece. Let's keep the momentum going here. Some parental guidance is advised for this media watch.
Doesn't give the suicide gag a parental guidance.
No. Of course, if you or anyone you know.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to cutting all this out after the show, Matty.
I'm taking advantage of the live setup here. No, illegal substances in our game. Okay, so I'm addressing the relationship that stoners, also known as, I guess, users or abusers of marijuana, their relationship with our great game. I don't know if it's the algorithms trying to anticipate my interests, but I've been seeing a lot of stuff come up in my socials anyway. And just before I go into this, I'd like to say that here at Parked
Right.
Media, sorry, Freudian slip. We don't condone the use of any illicit substances, performance enhancing or other, okay? But this kind of tomfoolery is one word I have for it has been popping up. So wake, bake, disc golf, repeat. Obviously an enthusiastic stoner and disc golfer who's willing to share that via shirt. The next one we've got is a pretty tidy dye job.
It's a pretty good dye job, yeah.
The only trees I hit.
Not bad. That's not bad.
I think you'll find it's a plant.
Yeah, well, we won't discuss semantics here. Moving along, we've also got a beer and weed catalog whose main item for the week or the month is the straight dope on disco.
Where did you find
This is just
Is that real?
Reddit, just many of the, as Ash said, social media platforms that I trawl. Yeah, that's real. That's not a Canva job. That is a real publication.
I'm gonna try and get that.
Oh,
I'm gonna try and get that and put it into the lamb shanks hamper Jason keeps talking about for the end of the year. I'm trying to get a copy. Yeah.
We're starting to build it finally. And just a couple more. This one of the more innovative ones. Someone at their local has fashioned a pipe out of a park bench. So all you got to do is sort of like pack the top and suck through the bottom hole. I don't know if you have ever smoked a pipe, Kyle. The basic.
I've seen it in movies.
Yeah.
And if there's kids watching, Uncle Matty's going to tell you how to make a pipe bomb next.
It's outside of my skill set.
I don't think Uncle Matty's coming to the next family gathering.
That's some
I was just
ingenuity.
thinking about like watching someone actually getting into position
It'd be
to
uncomfortable
hit that
for
pipe.
it.
Like
It'd be uncomfortable.
it's
for
not
it.
as if you're just going to blend into your environment.
No, but at least it looks like it's paved, so you wouldn't get like dirty knees or anything like that. But you can't deny the innovation of that.
Might have been what Bobridge was doing to the bench at Stony Creek a few years back.
We'll ask Sam Stoyer to investigate.
All right.
Interesting.
And then the last one, again, another fine piece of innovation and almost artisan in its presentation is this. I believe is it an oil boiler?
Yeah, it looks like an oil pourer, oil distiller. Yeah.
Yeah, you could probably find a few of those in Amsterdam if you ever find yourself there. But look, my main point here is there's obviously some sort of symbiotic relationship between marijuana and disc golf, and I've never come across it myself. I'm pretty straight-laced, as you all know here. But how do we ever expect to get our great game in the Olympics with degenerates openly posting content like this in public forums? I just think if you've got some filthy habits, keep them to yourselves. I've seen breakdancing in the Olympics. It's happening this year, and We all want to get disc golf into the Olympics, but not with an image like this. Stoners, keep that shit to yourself, right?
I think that's fair, Matty. I think that's more than fair.
And the next time I shoot a 13, can I have your number?
You wouldn't want drugs bringing down the good name, the good clean name the Olympics has.
Not at all. All right, the last one. Oh boy. I don't know how many of you out there actively follow Eagle McMahon, but we're going to his Instagram where he's just been out there living his best life. I don't know if he's influencer or athlete at this point. Look, we'll try to figure it out as a team here.
Do I have to?
We have to. We have to
You
get to the
made me
bottom
follow
of it.
him so I could do this for you.
I'm sick of suffering in isolation with this. So, as a top-level pro in our game, I'm bringing some of his content into question here, boys. Take a look at this, all right?
Everybody.
He's just come back from his injury.
I'm deciding to go live right now because I am bored's not the word for it, but I want to share some time with you all. It's been a while, and I got Snorlax here. He's my buddy. My dad and Ratana are playing disc golf right now, and I'm all alone. And if you look here, yep, they got in there. They got into my shoulder, and I officially joined the surgery club.
I know. Okay,
weird, isn't
we've
it?
had enough. I'm sorry we put you through that, viewers,
I
but
don't want to watch that
I
anymore.
mean, he must have been on some pretty strong painkillers to have decided to post, as a grown man, a video of himself with a fucking Pokemon plush doll and just ramble nonsense. Kyle, you're a bit younger
a
than
couple
us.
of sanitary pads on his shoulder.
Kyle,
I
you're-
joined the surgery club too.
Yeah.
They got in there.
Yeah.
Are we missing something? We're all sort of late 30s, early 40s. You're a bit younger. Is there a misunderstanding on my part here? Am I just a grumpy old man?
I don't know, Matty. I don't know if grumpy old man's the right term. Irritable, perhaps. I don't know.
Beagle posts some great content too, right, Matty?
Oh yeah, he bounces back though after that schmozzle. Look, we've all seen different methods, I guess, of athletes, disc golfers, announcing a new disc. This has to be hands down the most bizarre choice of methods in announcing a new disc. Jace, I can't wait to see your reaction to this.
All right.
How do you know I'm saying?
I'm just hazarding a guess.
Why don't we just go, Jace? What do you think's coming?
Oh, no idea.
All right.
He's
Glacier?
He's announcing a disc.
Is it Glacier? He's spot on.
Introducing the Wind Dragon MVP Team Series Vision Dimension.
So many words.
This is him again.
Yeah, this is all him.
He made this.
Well, someone made it for him. Yeah.
He definitely stars it.
The Wind Dragon reality unfolds. The vision of dimensions lies a place which there is no evil.
It's like he spent a lot of time at that park bench Matty had in the early 40s.
Is the dimension of the people. The
EDM stands for electronic dance.
will bestow a sacred ritual. The Wind Dragon, its majesty
This is one of those
descending to the earth.
AI apps where you can put lyrics in. Makes it. Oh, you can put the genre in.
Has to be, yeah. It's got that like disgusting auto-tune sound. So look, where do we start? The
So
dragon one.
that is the second. That is right behind the film clip to Rock Lobster by the B-52s. If you've ever seen that, after you've
Kyle
been
definitely
near that
hasn't.
park bench,
That's
it is the creepiest thing you've ever seen.
a
But that's
dated-
right up there with it.
That's a dated reference. Boys, where do we start? The dragon onesie. the plush toy that he keeps presenting to the sky, the asinine lyrics. This guy's a pro athlete. He's not an aspiring K-pop star.
No.
What's the angle? Kyle, again, I'm going to defer to your youth.
I don't know, man. He's got a personality. It's the same as Reese calling himself Reese R12 Snooski.
He didn't make a song about it.
I don't think that's the same.
Don't worry, the song's coming. Reese will be on it.
Wisniewski didn't dance around dressed as a turtle going, Wiz 12 Niski, I'm sitting on an esky. Bogey's a pesky. R.I.P. Jaden Nesky.
we don't
Like,
need
I
it.
mean, he didn't.
We don't need a fourth line to that song.
I had one, so I did it.
Look,
Don't yuck.
I don't know what to say about that. That's just...
Don't yuck his yums.
We're on
from
early, so I
forward.
can't say what I really think, but it's...
Look, again, I'm coming in with an overcritical eye, but I'm just imagining we're trying to grow the sport. One of my mates says, who's one of the best throwers in the game? Who should I follow? And I go, Paul Macbeth, Ricky Wysocki, Eagle, maybe try Kevin Jones.
Kevin Jones might have actually written that song.
Sounds like one of the hottest beats of their summer.
Well, we got fast forward in the chat saying, don't yuck his yums, I reckon. I reckon that's an internet term for just let me release shit content. But
Ashley.
what?
He's allowed
Jade
to be
Brady.
his own person.
Yeah, he is. I'm allowed to think it's crap too. Jade Brady, literally eagle. Don't know why people are surprised. Not literally an eagle. Anyway,
It's the Wind Dragon,
but
baby.
yeah, fair enough. Okay, people are allowed to like it. It's not how I would have released my signature series disc. Anyway, Matty.
It's encroaching 7 o'clock and we've got a very important guest to get over to. So I'm going to call Media Watch a close for this week. And yeah, it's good to be back and being a critical, grumpy old curmudgeon.
All right. Thank you, Matty. Once again, we've gotten through Media Watch relatively unscathed. Thank you. Looks like Eagle's been on that pipe. Thanks, Circle 5. So thanks to everyone interacting in the comments there. As Matty mentioned, and as we teased at the start of the show and in the promo this week, we do have a very special guest standing by. It's a guest that Kyle and I have been working quite closely with to make something pretty special happen over the last couple of months. And it's a man who you all probably have had something to do with in one way or another over your years in the game. I'm going to bring him into the studio now. The boys have got some questions for him. We're going to say hello to Disconnection's own, Sunset Coast Disc Golf's own, Mr. Reese Valios. There he is.
Hey guys, how you going?
Good, mate. How are you?
Not too bad. I'm enjoying the content thus far. It's been good.
That's good. We're very glad. I've been watching your laughter in the waiting room there. Very relieved to see you're on board with the Clubhouse concept. Good to see you've gone with the discs behind your theme as well this week. A lot of these might have probably been on that shelf over the years.
It looks like I'm in your. It looks like I'm at yours.
It's almost a mirror image.
Yeah.
It is.
Man, I'll go put my red hat on.
He's a little bit prettier than I am, though.
Oh, don't know about
What a
that.
charmer, Reese.
Oh, stop. Stop. I know where I'm sleeping when we get over to Pinelines. Let's talk about that, Reese. So we've worked over the last couple of months, you, Kyle, and myself, to figure out a way to get us over to Pinelines to the WA Open. The Disconnection is also supporting. But tell us a bit about, firstly, a bit about Pinelines, because I'm going to guess a lot of players watching may not have actually played the course, had much to do with the course. So there's a tournament there a year or so. But tell us a bit about Pinelines.
So shout out to my brother. It's my brother's course, Keenan Valios. The course started, I think, in 2000 and roughly 11. First Perth Open was held in 2013, I think. So we had 10 of those back to back, and the course has just evolved massively. And the name says it all. Pinelines. It's a disc golf course in a pine plantation, and there's a lot of you guys have probably seen some videos and pictures on Instagram here and there, but It's a lot of tight wooded holes. It's very different to anything else in Australia, yeah, it's a tough one for people to navigate through, and it's good as well because Keenan, it's a private course, so it only houses pretty much the tournament once a year. He opens it up every now and then, so it's a real canvas for players to come, and you're in the same playing field. You don't have people over practicing the same course like some players, and you're pretty much, the people who come over from the eastern states are very aligned with the same people who are playing. My headphones have just died. Let me just change over to my speakers, and I hope this doesn't cause any problems. My gosh, sorry guys, I'm just going to change over to my headphones. This is
usually
typical for a thing to happen like in Dib List. If you guys have ever been on there, we always have some sort of problem. No.
Yeah, we're pretty used to audio issues on our end.
Here we go.
No
Speakers.
stress.
All right. Yeah, I think I fixed it. I think I can hear you guys. So yeah, basically it's a tough course. And this year we've made it par is 980 rated basically. So it's going to be a tough one to juggle. And there's some holes that you can get a birdie on, and there's some hole that same hole the player on your card can get a +6. I've got one of the guys behind me who did that in a card that we played against recently, and he got a 9 on a par 5. I definitely can't hear you guys.
He's in good company here.
Sorry.
Yeah. Reese, I know you run Dib's list, but I didn't know you run Dobbs list. Just really dobbing him in there.
Maybe I'll put these back in. Killing me. Yeah, let's give me those headphones. Sorry, boys.
You're all right, mate.
I literally came in
So
last.
for those of you that weren't, yeah. So for those of you that weren't paying attention to our Instagram during the week, Kyle and I will be heading over next Thursday night to Pinelines. We're going to film. We're going to film 2 rounds a day. We're going to film a mixed card in the morning and then an MPO feature and lead card in the afternoon. And Reese has been instrumental in helping us figure out how to get over there because it's not easy for us in the Eastern States to get
just
to
give me a
Perth.
moment.
You're right.
Oh shit, that should be working.
Eagles
I
song,
should be able to
Reese.
hear you guys. Why is that not working?
I wonder if the Disc Golf Warehouse commercials are this difficult to film.
Bugger.
This disconnection, I think you'll find it is.
I
Matty.
should have planned for this.
One of the WA ones. There's no Gindy Disc Golf
here we
shop,
go.
that's all I know.
Testing.
Yeah, mate, we got you.
My gosh.
No, nothing.
It's just live TV, guys.
This is Matty's media watch that just ran his battery.
Nah, keep going, boys. I'll
That
fix this in
Eagle
a second.
Man film
Sorry.
clip. Ran a bit too long.
All right, mate. Well, why don't you just I'll come into the private chat and why don't we what do we got here? What's next? Why don't we let Jace do a big a wet recap?
I can sing a limerick if you like.
That's okay, Matty. I heard you singing in the shower earlier.
Hey, I'm gonna
I think we can forgo that one. So.
There once was a man named Enos.
You're the wrong woman from Sydney. All right. So we're doing the big wet recap now, are we?
I think so. Yeah. Let's get into the big wet.
Let's get moist.
We've got to have this from Aussie D. Oh no, that's not it. Circle 5 it was. Circle 5. Disconnection. Yeah, look, Reese probably knew that was coming. I'm sure he'll sort it out. We'll get him back on because we really want to hear more from Reese. But Jace, we're going to hand over to you for a recap of the most recent Vic Tour event.
Yes, the most recent Vic Tour event was the Big Wet, which was out in a brand new, or not brand new, but almost brand new course in Ballarat that the Ballarat Disc Golf community is very excited about. It's at Mount Xavier, and I say Xavier, and a lot of people say Xavier, and it annoys me. So I'm going to say Mount Xavier. golf club, and it runs sort of parallel with the golf club for a few holes, and then you're off into the woods, and it's got a great cross-section of holes, a lot of elevation changes, a lot of very tight wooded sections. So my first time seeing the course out there, but yeah, they had the big wet, which is often this time of year when it's freezing cold. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this day was no exception whatsoever. I had it pegged at about -4 degrees. However, I don't think it was that cold, but I think it was about 6 or 7.
Got close.
And then we got monumentally pissed on for about 2 holes to go and just got absolutely drenched. So, yeah, I had a prick of a day, to be honest, because I was cold, wet, and I got the feeling back in my toes on Thursday this week. But the tournament went off without a hitch, as far as I know. Have we got some results to run through?
We do.
Ash.
I can bring up some results. Jason.
All right, let's run through some results then, Ash, if you say so. So FA2, we'll start at the bottom, actually. MA4 was taken out by Matt Harris with a score of +7, is it?
Yep.
Poor graphic choice there.
Yeah, I haven't really got...
So well done, Matt Harris. I understand he's a newcomer. MA3, Chu Tran took out with a +9, and he's a relatively newcomer as well.
Yeah, he touched me up at Street League the week before.
What?
But no, Nick Tay and I were thoroughly beaten by Chu, so he was prepped well for Big Wet.
So well done, Chu. And FA2, Kim Michelle took out FA2. So well done, Kim, with +35.
Alrighty.
Now, MA2, Pen Lu with a commanding win and got over the line because he's often... Is he known as a bit of a joker, Pen, or does he throw it away in the last few holes? Has he done it before?
I wouldn't say that. I'd just say he hasn't really strung a tournament together. He's had one hot round.
I did hear murmurs. People were talking that he'd finally got one. So well done, Pen. Great effort. MA50, Jeff Brunsting. No surprise there. Getting it done by a shot.
Yeah.
A shot over Carey Edwards. So well done.
Well done to Jeff. To Penn also for being the only divisional winner so far that wouldn't have lost to the MA4 winner. So good on him.
Fair enough. And FA40, the assassin, one of my all-time favourites, Janet Ford Adams, with a +40. So well done there, Janet, and well done to her caddy, who I understand was Doug Adams.
Doug Adams, AU.
Yep. So well done there, Janet. MA40.
MP. Sorry. Shit graph.
P40. Taryn Anderson breaking through for a win. So very commanding tournament from him. Well done, Taryn.
That was MA40, you're right. Sorry.
MA40. And MA1, one of our favourites. And I think, was this the filming rocket we gave him just by filming him for the first round? And he was unbelievable. So wait for the footage to come out to see that because thoroughly deserved there. Chris Scott, well done. And MP40, we don't even put his name up there anymore. We just call him Melton Meatball because that's how well that nickname has stuck. Thank you, Matty.
Actual identity.
So, yeah, he took out MP40 there, which was a pretty commanding win as well, I understand. Next division would be... That is a terrible colour choice, Ash.
It is. So what I do, anyone that uses fucking put me on camera, and I'm going to defend anyone that uses Canva.
Go on, pull up the other overlay. Old man yells at cloud.
Yeah, okay. Here we go. Anyone that uses Canva, what I do is I grab the thing, I grab the logo of the tournament, and whatever colours are in the tournament, it lets me choose those colours. I've made a grave mistake. I don't need to keep hearing about it. I didn't test it because we're here at the early time for you guys. I apologise. Back to the graphic.
Brilliant. I knew we made that for some of them.
I can't even see who came third in that.
Yes, you can.
So, MPO, third, Leo Dykes. Second place, Darren Staysmith. And first place, my old mate, who I put a little bit of a rocket up last week. And I'll get to that later. There's more to talk there. Ryan Hart, breaking through for a win. And it was close. this MPO. This is a card we filmed. And between Leo, Darren, and Kevin Hart and Ryan Hart, they were seesawing back and forth, and there was bogeys aplenty. And it was going, and it looked like at one stage there, no one wanted to win. But Rhino, even after a 5-putt in each round, breaks through for a win. So well done, Reinhardt. Yeah. Great to see. Good to see.
Typically the bridesmaid, Rhino, so it's good to see a big one.
Yep. Yeah, it was. It was really good to see. And didn't he love telling me about it after what I called him last week on the show?
What did you call him?
What time is it? I think I called him. Yeah, he knows what I called him. That was just to give him a simple rev up, and it worked.
All right. Well, thanks for that recap. First tournament went really well at Mount Saviour as far as we could see. The footage will be out over the next few weeks, and look forward to Jace and Matty's commentary on that. I've got word from our guest. He's gone out to JB Hi-Fi, and he's bought some new headphones. He'll invoice us for them later. But he's back, and he is back to talk Pinelines, all things WA. Reese, how are we, mate? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Look at this.
And do you regret that you can hear us?
No, mate. It's all good. I regret using these little things.
Yeah, wow. All right, mate. Well, it's good to have you back. It's good to have you here to talk Pinelines. So we were talking about the course. It's a pine plantation. If I was to order, 3 trucks of radiata pine over the next week, would that make any difference to the course at all?
Mate, your disc are going to feel it either way.
Right.
You can order the pine and then use a disc to say, hey mate, this is what it's going to be like. This is going to be like hitting you for the next week or two.
To get it used to it. Knock it in like a cricket bat. I love it. So how many players have you got signed up at the moment? We've got a big number of people coming over. It's gonna be. Last I heard, it was a relatively almost.
I think we're
pushing numbers event.
I think we're at 115 roughly. I'm not too sure if we get any extras. It's a tough year, like for disc golf for this end of the year. We've got so much going on, and we've also got stuff coming to WA at the end of the year, which is the WFDF Worlds, Aussie Open. So there's a lot happening. But having 115 or so right now, it's really good. I'm happy with that. It's going to be interesting to see all these players who haven't played this course and talking to them after and seeing what their thoughts are. So
yeah, fantastic. I think even talking to Blake Houston after his Am Worlds experience recently, he said, I don't know if you saw any of the footage of day one that Blake was featured on. Had a lot of difficulty with the woods aspect of the course that he was playing over there. So not something, and he openly said, not something he gets in Australia very often, and not something to that level that we get that experience with. So possibly, some players going to get found out, or some players going to find a new love of, throwing in straight lines.
Yeah, most definitely. I think so too. And yeah, it's just going to be interesting to see some of these players who are used to open courses and see what they can do with a 100-meter, 6-meter gap.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I got a twitch at the sound of that.
Sorry, I'll steal it briefly, but
sorry,
the other thing
Matty hasn't ducked off just out of disrespect for you, mate. He's ducked off just to stretch his back out because he's still coming down from his back injury. Kyle, go ahead.
No, and how you mentioned earlier, everyone coming across from the East Coast kind of being on the level playing field. It's going to be really interesting to see who plays a course blind well, because I feel like that's a skill in itself. It's not often tested, but I feel like it's going to be a fantastic skill. Which holes do you think are going to be the absolute killers that you need to have played before to know?
So I'm not too sure if you guys saw my Instagram a couple of days ago. I posted a video of me singing, "Do you want to build a snowman?"
I can't believe Matty didn't see it.
Yeah, it's a hole basically. Yeah. It's only 104 meters. But that's a tough cookie. It's called Scarjo. because she's short and nasty. My brother has
fan
names
already.
for all of the holes, and you'll see them on the tee signs. They've been curated over time. It's kind of like the old school version of disc golf, where at Daylight they have like the fridge hole, and Keenan has all these weird names for the holes. So it's that hole, and then also hole 2, which is the new par 5, which is a tough one. And that was going to really get people. It's called long and windy, and it is really that. So
wow, It's Reese Wiz coming over. I can't wait to see him tackle that. He couldn't handle a straight one on the weekend in Marlon. Magic. So look, Kyle and I are heading over. We've got some big plans, Reese. We've got 2 rounds a day, as I mentioned while you were sourcing some new headphones. We've got a putting comp, I think, in a brewery on a Friday night.
Yep.
Which you said you guys can come along if you like, and I said try and keep me away. And Saturday night we've got plans for a live clubhouse. You've promised a bonfire,
mate. This is not your normal bonfire. I'm sure you guys, I'm sure everyone out there have seen some videos. This thing is maybe 10 stories tall. Yeah, it's probably not that big, but
oh boy,
it's huge.
It's a peanut gallery. I love it.
And what we actually do, which I don't want to talk about, but I'm going to. We throw ultimate discs over the fire, not to throw them into the fire to burn them, but what actually happens is when they go into the heat pocket, they pushes them 10 meters up. So you just give them little flicks, and they go over the fire and then just go bang, and they pop into the air, and then people throw them back and forth until they melt, basically.
That sounds sick. I got one.
So that's going to be happening.
It's
going to be happening in the background of the clubhouse.
Hey.
Oh, mate.
That's signed by Dane Swan.
Yeah, Matty's got a lid here signed by Dane Swan and Archie Thompson, I think.
Yeah.
And I might bring that over.
female
Put
athletes
it in the comments if you want me to bring Matty's signed ultimate disc over with me.
I think one of those went in a fire.
Oh, really? One of these ones? Or
One of those ones?
Actual signed ones?
Can I see the stamp cup close?
Yeah.
No.
It's a...
No, it's the 2008 Worlds stamp. I've got one in the background, 2008 Worlds, and it was signed by a whole bunch of people. And one of the boys was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get this ultimate out of the car and throw it," and then it went straight in the fire.
And that's where it all began. I love it.
Sorry, guys. It's
so
nothing against ultimate players. We're not doing it intentionally. It's just a bit of fun games. Oh, Jason's gonna get it for me. It's over there.
Yeah.
Sure it is, mate.
Jason actually.
Sure it is.
Jason didn't like your comment about the throw like Jace, can't ace, throw like Jace. I've got president of Sunset Coast Disc Golf Club. This one here. There's one of these, but it had lots of people sign it.
We should have specific. Oh, sacrifice.
Funnily enough, I think I also have one of those, which we can not donate.
I might throw you over to the couch now, Reese. Oh, that's
Yep.
cool. I'm chucking that straight. See, my problem is I won't make it over the bonfire, but I might throw you over to the couch now. Kyle and Jace might have some questions for you.
Sure.
Jace, what do you got?
Jason, how you going, mate?
Mate, good.
Now, Parks Media rap that you've bent over backwards and found a way to get 2 of our boys over there. Unfortunately, though, we've had to send Ash and Kyle, so that's the best we could do, mate. So sorry about that in advance. But to be honest, when it comes to the tournament this weekend, next weekend, I think it is, give us your tip, mate. Who's your early tip? Who do you think's going to take it out?
Oh, mate. This is a tough one. Everyone's different every year. We've got Alex, Kin, who's been, playing the course for quite a while now. But like I said, it's a level playing field, and the course is quite different to he played last time. So I think it's the person who's going to play the smartest game. So
Off the fence, mate.
Yeah,
Come on.
I can't. Don't touch the fences there, by the way. Don't touch the
No,
fences
that's
there.
fair enough.
There's a video of me getting electrocuted on Instagram.
Matty will still try and fence sit. It's okay.
Yeah. Nah, look, I honestly don't know. I could say anyone really. I'm not fence sitting. It is really like that. That's Pinelines.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
No, sounds good.
On that vein as well, like you mentioned, 980 is par. What do you reckon is going to be the hot round for MPO? And I want to also have a stab at the biggest number to come out of the MPO field on any hole. Do you reckon we're cracking double digits?
I think the biggest number on a hole is going to be a 10 on a par 5.
Is Tim Bowen playing?
He comes over a lot. I'm not too sure actually. I'd like to. I like for him to come over. And then I think a hot round is neg 8.
Nice.
Well, yeah.
I look forward to it. Yeah,
So-
all that I've seen of it has looked fantastic, so I'm really excited to get over there and experience it. Matty, what'd you have?
Well, I've only got spit out questions if we're happy to move toward
I've
that.
got one more, but I've always wanted to ask it. And now I'll move away from the Sunset Disc Golf Pinelines thing to your disconnection work, Reese. I don't know if you saw in the chat while you were gone. I think it was Circle 5, so I assume it's OMC down in Tassie that
Ollie, he's still watching,
yeah,
I reckon,
posted
Ollie.
disconnection when you took your headphones off and dropped out for a moment, which I thought
Yeah,
was
that's
great.
good.
But it triggered me. I've always wondered, as as a disc retailer, do you get orders from people that you know, and they've ordered a Rask or 5 destroyers, and you just look at their order and go, "Fuck no, mate, you can't throw that," and just
Dude.
like send them a buzz instead.
Oh, no, I don't send it to him, but on a daily basis that happens. I look at people's orders and go, this and that? What? Like, surely they're getting this as a gift and this is for them. Like, you know what I mean? The weirdest ones I get is like something won't move for a while, and then all of a sudden, I'll just sell like 10 of them in a week, and I'm like, who posted a video on YouTube? Like, I had these special tactics on the shelf, literally, and this week I sold almost all of them, and they've been there for like 6 months. And it always confuses me, like who's making a video, but yeah. Look, I try to give a lot of people advice where I can. I'm like, mate, that's really unstable and that's really overstable, but. Hey, look, I can't. Like I said in my chat, I don't yuck people's yums. If they want to throw that disc and it works for them, mate. Look, that's every disc, every player plays differently. You can't yuck their yums.
That's it. Yeah, look, that's probably a fair attitude to take into it. I just remember, I think I bought a Wraith off Dougie Adams down in Melbourne and went out to the practice field at a tournament to throw it. And Jacob Cruden was standing next to me, and he went, "Yeah, you buy dumb shit you can't throw all the time," because I bought a bunch of stuff off him at Portal. And I went, "Yeah, I wonder if these guys look at it and go, nah." But yeah, awesome, Reese. I love it. I'm going to, anyone see Rube? Oh yeah, Dave Gannon's in the chat. It was probably Rubenberg buying all your tactics, or anyone that's seen Rubenberg throw would have bought those tactics off you.
Maybe,
Quite possibly. But I might put you over to Matty Faz now for the spit out. So you're going to get 5 or 6 or however many he's prepared, rapid, quick fire questions. They could be about anything, Reese. So
sure.
Godspeed, and I'll see you on the other side.
No worries.
How you going, Reese?
I don't know. Do I need lube for this one?
No. The spit out. It's a lighthearted
Not
section.
for Matty, you know.
Okay.
Lighthearted section of the interview where
It just goes in raw.
I do have an 8:30 to get to. So
You have met before, haven't you?
He's done his
It is a bit
research.
later there, isn't it? It's a bit later there, right?
Yeah,
Kids are going to bed.
it's a Friday night. You guys are holding me up from my normal programming. No relation to what we just talked about. All right. No, this is just a little deviation from disc golf, just for us boys on the couch here and all of our viewers, just to get a better sense of who you are away from disc golf. So the first one I've got here, Have you ever played a musical instrument, or do you play a musical instrument?
Recorder?
Grade 6?
No,
I think we all
you know,
played the
look,
recorder at some
my
point.
family is full of musicians, and my younger brother, he makes all my music. He's got a recording studio. He couldn't be more musically orientated, and I am the total opposite.
Yeah, you chose frisbees instead of being cool. Okay.
Yeah. I feel you. Look, I gave myself a goal once to play Enter Sandman on the guitar, and I told my brother, look, I'll do it in 1 year, and I never did it. And I still remember that. I'm
Get
dark
back to
about
that,
it.
mate.
Tell him to bring one next weekend. I'll teach you if you like.
I do have something weird to tell you, though. I collect guitars.
Ooh.
But you can't play them.
No.
Just like I collect discs and literally cannot throw them. Okay.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. I don't know why. My brother gives me shit for it.
You've got a rock star quality too. I'm surprised you're not more of a muso. Second question
I
here,
wish.
Reese. If you could be any sea animal, what would it be and why?
Oh, dolphin. They're meant to be smarter than us, right?
Highly intellectual, highly sexual creatures too.
Oh, there you go. That one. I meant that. That's what I was thinking
Must
before.
make us to know that fact.
Yeah.
Matty's dated a few dolphins.
Yeah, probably
The whole
dolphin.
fetish.
I don't know. Whoa.
I forget we're on earlier this week. I'm sorry. I hope your family's not watching this, Reese. I know you're a big family
they're
man.
not.
We've all seen the disconnection ad many, many times. Reese comes from a family of disc
It's like
golfers.
lunchtime in Perth too.
It's dark here. It's in my studio, but you open up the window, it's bright as hell out.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry about the vulgarity there.
Nah, it's all good.
Are you a bit of a chef, and what's your signature dish when it's your turn to cook?
Oh man, you're asking all the wrong questions. My wife gives me so much shit that I don't cook.
I thought with a name like Velios, you might, I don't know, like a...
What, moussaka?
It's true. It's true. It's true.
Spanakopita?
No, mate, that's Greek. I'm Macedonian.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, Jace. So, what do you cook? What's the last thing you
That's
cook
like
for
the
the family?
worst insult from Macedonian.
Yeah, it is.
I know.
Sorry.
Nah, it's all right. It's all good. It's all good.
What is the last thing you cook for the family?
Look, I was actually I do a lot of helping in the kitchen. I don't actually cook. We were cooking Vietnamese chicken salad. I was literally in the kitchen just before you guys come on, and I didn't
I'm
charge these
assuming you
things
were
up,
on
and that's why.
chopping duties.
Yeah,
Chopping
mate. Yeah,
tomatoes and salad.
that's where I'm at. That's my thing.
Okay. Okay.
Looking at
What was
the
your
recipe
worst
and go, yeah.
subject at school?
Oh, English, dude. If you guys look at any of my posts on Instagram and social media, I have a spelling mistake in every single one, and my team gives me so much shit for it.
Okay.
And
I'm going to keep an eye on that for
I
a
just
future
own it.
media watch.
Dude, you're just going to be like, check Reese's things out this week. He said this. Sometimes
That's
it's
perfect
like,
because I'm an English teacher. I'm going to be reading your post with a fine-tooth comb now just to pick up any grammatical or spelling errors there.
all right, mate,
Last one.
It's all good.
We've got the Olympics. We've got the Olympics coming up. Obviously, disc golf's not there just yet. So, what is your favorite Olympic sport to watch every 4 years?
Oh, BMX, dude. BMX.
How many Olympics has that been there?
Oh, it's only like 2, I think.
Has it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a lot, but I come from motocross and BMX and dirt jumping before disc golf. So when you said how
There
were
it is.
you
I
cool
knew you
playing,
had the cool in you.
yeah, there you go. I raced for 10, 15 years. I was professionally I was competitive, and I think that's where this come from, because I was a part of a team. I had a manager. He passed, but he was one of my mentors, and I think starting a team of my own was just I think living through that with him. So
Yeah, right. Bit of a change of pace though. Dirt biking to frisbee golfing.
there is connections. There's connections. There's quite a few actual pro players who came from motocross.
Really?
Yeah,
That's news to me, Reece.
I bet you didn't think you could get injured more playing disc golf, though, did you?
You don't want to know how many bones are broken.
That's pretty much it from me, Reese. Thanks for being a part of the Spit Out this week, mate. It was a pleasure.
Thought it was going to be more R-rated.
No. The early time slot, we tried to keep it a little more PG this week.
Matty, let's just save the audience. You didn't consider the time slot. You really just you got it out of your system earlier tonight in Media Watch and just, went downhill from there, mate.
Yeah, all the drugs and online bullying happened in my other segment, Reese. I hope you enjoyed that, though.
Yeah, no, look, so that disc, that buzz, I got 5 on it, is the guy who makes them. And yeah, I'm a collector of buzzes, and this is one of them. Yeah.
That is dope. Someone clearly abuses acid in that design.
Oh, mate. Yeah. Buzz is my favorite disc, so I have to have those things. So when I saw that come on the screen, I was like, oh, I love that disc. I would love it. So
very cool, mate. Well, thanks again for being part of the Spit Out.
Guitar, right. Is this a part of the normal segment? Oh, he's playing it. Do it.
This wasn't on the run sheet.
It's out of tune.
Oh, he's doing it. Jacko Sullivan would be frothing in his bed right now. He's asleep.
Yeah, well, we're going to say exit light and enter night. And we will.
One of the holes they're called Fade Black at Pinelines, by the way. Fade Black. Yep.
Yeah, right. Well, hopefully one of the holes next weekend, for our sake as coverage providers, is called 1.
Oh.
Nothing? Yeah.
No,
nothing?
You've got nothing.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah. Wow. Jesus. All right. That went about as well as expected. But, Reed, it's been incredible having you on. We look forward to catching up next week. I don't think we've seen you since Nationals last year, mate. So it'll be good to catch up, have a beer by the bonfire. And
Clubhouse at the bonfire, boys.
Yeah. And see what's what about Pinelines. I might bring a buzz over and see if I can get out there.
Don't throw it over the bonfire, though. I won't like that one.
Oh, shit, no. All right, mate. Well, it's been good to chat. We'll chat to you before we get there, I'm sure. But, mate, all the best with the tournament prep, and thanks for coming on. Really good to speak to you.
Cheers, guys. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, mate.
See you, mate.
See you later. All right. So there it was, ladies and gentlemen, Reese Valios. We look forward to hearing more from him next weekend as we go into the Parked Open. But we've got something pretty special to do now. Well, actually, we do have something pretty special to do. We've got to give these frisbees away. But before we do that, we're going to tease it out a little bit more, and we're going to talk about Melbourne Celebrates coming up in Melbourne this weekend, guys. So, Melbourne Celebrates, Melbourne Disc Golf Club's big yearly tournament, temporary or pop-up course, potentially, I imagine, hoping to be somewhat permanent. But we've had a bit of a look at the course. We've seen Doug Adams' previews there. Huge field for the Saturday. They've split it across 2 days. So they've got MA2 and down, MA2, MA40 down playing on the Saturday. And then you've got the Pro Divisions and MA1 playing on the Sunday. So huge amount of players signed up for the Saturday. Not so many signed up for the Sunday. But 18 holes, 2 rounds a day, huge amount of players. It's going to be a big one. So we've had a bit of a... Kyle, have you had a bit of a look at the fields there, mate?
I have. I've looked at the Saturday field quite a lot because I'm not in it. So I've had plenty of time to think about who's going to win it. And yeah, right at the top of the list in MA2 is someone who does not belong in MA2, or maybe he does. Alan Brunstein.
Is he playing both days?
No, he's only playing the Saturday because he's away on the Sunday. I did listen to Throwlers in the car over. I had an hour and a half to marinate, so there we go. But it's going to be very interesting. I think there might be a couple of people out to get Alan, in MA2.
You'd hope
Strong
so.
field.
That was Matty's. We were going to do predictions for it, but we shied away after the Throwlers called us out on predicting a sporting event. But Matty had a prediction for Alan in MA2. What was it, Matty?
My prediction, one of my top 3, was that Alan is going to shit the bed while he's trying to sandbag in MA2.
Yeah.
He's not going to actually win the division. What would he be paying? Our new sponsor, Sportsbet, are obviously on board here. What do you reckon we could get him at on Sportsbet?
He'd probably be about 4 or 5s at the moment. Yep.
Really? Yeah.
Just because
good money.
he's rated highly, but he's consistently shit. So,
Well, as the Throwlers have said numerous times, MA2 is not a real division. So I don't know. I don't know how Chris Ronalds is going to feel about that.
you mean none other than Chris Ronald?
All right. Big. Kyle, continue.
Absolutely. The other thing I noticed about Saturday is a full FA40 division. So we've got 4 women. We've got Sue Donnelly.
What?
Fantastic.
Dargo's own.
Janet Ford Adams. Michelle Schultz is back after Mount Xavier. And then you've got Christine Go as well. So good division there. We're going to have a Jeff v. Carey rematch in MA50. Look out, everybody. MA3 is probably the biggest field in MA3 that I have seen at a non-major event. We have 27 players in MA3. So we're going to very quickly work out who belongs and who doesn't.
Is that a Dykes?
Yes, that is a Hugo Dykes. So if it wasn't bad enough getting beaten by Leo all the time, Jason, there's now a good chance you'll be beaten by both of them. It's okay, buddy.
Oh, and you consistently beat Leo, do you?
You only got me by 2 at the social day, but it's all right.
Bit of a duff from Leo, but
That's all right. Chu Tran's looking to go back-to-back. He's also in that MO3 field. So, look, it'll be hotly contested. There is no doubt there. Ashley, do you want to?
No, mate. No, it'd be a good field. I got a good card. I think, it'd be a good card for the start of Saturday. Unfortunately, got carded away from Jason, but having mixed cards, I've got carded. If anyone in the chat has a PDGA random card assignment buddy that you always get carded with, let us know, because mine is Tim Stevenson. Do you guys know Tim Stevenson?
Do you mean generic disc golf bald guy number 1?
Every time cards are randomly assigned, I end up with Tim Stevenson.
Well, this is
which
the
is great.
second random card tournament in a row I've been carded with Alan Brunsting.
I think they're trying to send a message, Jason. I don't know to which one of you, but anyway, back to the divisions. MA4 flying run through. Chris Scott, Wayne Govan, Philip Hall, Matt Mutter, Chris Reimer, and Louis Sayer. I think that's
Leo
close enough.
Louis Sayer.
Louis Sayer. Anyway, 6 in the division. Wayne Govan v Chris Scott. It's going to be a hot battle. And then Lily Reimer and Tobias Weber in FA4 and MJ15 respectively.
All right. Wayne Govan and Chris Scott hate each other, don't they? Oh, they just go at each other's throats. It's a rivalry for the ages, that one. Can't wait to see it.
And then, funnily enough, moving on to the Sunday, we've got Jeff Brunsting again. So he's doing the double up, looking to claim the MA40 title, but he's going to have a hard time getting it off A, Tim Ware, B, Taryn Anderson, Anthony Magan, Mark Carter, Strongfield is generally what I'm getting at there. FA1, we've got Emma Winkworth and Georgia Carroll, another battle from the two of them.
Yeah, they hate each other too. Yeah.
MA1, Don Carter's back, and he's back for revenge on the MO1 division after Big Wet at his home course. He's going to show that he can do it in Melbourne. So
For 2 rounds?
For 2 rounds, yep, hopefully. And Chris Scott also there after his win at Big Wet. So it'll
He'd
be...
have to go in unbackable, Chris Scott, for that one. Yeah.
Absolutely. And then MPO, we've got 9 players, which sounds about right for a Victoria event. We've got Ryan Deere, Leo Dykes. Can't wait for Ryan to get one back on Leo after getting smacked around at Big Wet. Aiden Howard looking to continue his streak of PDGA hot rounds and a redemption arc on Melbourne Celebrates after.
You know who we need to see something from?
Who?
Ryan Deere.
Yes, we do. We do need to see
Come on,
something
mate.
from Ryan Deere.
I think, it's time to show a little bit, mate.
But funnily enough, we're going to have him for our feature card. So Ryan, if you're listening, now would be a good time.
Who is our feature card?
So our feature card is Ryan Deere, Tim Bowen, Darren Say Smith,
Fuck.
and Marcus Velotta.
Well, at least there's an ace coming up if Tim Bowen's on the card.
Yeah, Tim Bowen puts it on for the cameras, but Marcus Velotta, a lot of you might have heard him mentioned on the throwers. Vil, big man, massive shape of a unit, Estonian gent, so might be looking, to ride off a bit of the European Disc Golf Festival that's happening in Estonia this weekend. But Marcus has also designed a lot of this course at Bundoora Park. So big to have him on the feature card, and I hope he can make it there for round 2 because lovely bloke, Marcus, and enjoy playing with him and enjoy having him on our card. So yeah, Daz also provides the fun, and Tim Bowen always brings the entertainment and always turns it on for the cameras.
It'll be fantastic. I think one way or another, our feature card's going to be great, and there's potential for a lot of battles in pretty much every division. But MPO, I feel like we're hopefully going to see something special out of that course and these players. So it'll be good. Definitely one to stay tuned for.
Yeah, from Doug Adams's video preview of the course, it looked very attackable. Sam Stoyer was out there today and said the wind made it borderline unplayable. So that could be interesting tomorrow because I don't think it's going to settle down.
Oh, it's going to be colder than ever tomorrow.
Yeah, so it's an interesting. It's going to be an interesting weekend. Different conditions on Saturday and Sunday, so we'll see how we go. I did want to point out this comment from an unfortunate gentleman in the chat, Austin D'Alessandro. Rated highly but consistently shit. That hit different.
I did say that, didn't I?
Yeah.
He knows what I meant. Alan knows what I meant.
Yeah. But I think, Aussie probably after his last few performances maybe feels that. But, look, he's obviously going through a bit of a slump, Aussie, after the Drizzlers. So, we feel you, mate. We feel you.
He'll be back, the dog.
He'll be back.
He'll be back.
He only comes out for the big events. He doesn't get out of bed. Doesn't get out of bed for less than $250, in a pot. So, love your work. So, Melbourne celebrates this weekend. We're going to be there on Sunday filming. Jason and I will be there tomorrow playing and throwing discs out of bounds. It's going to be a big weekend for Melbourne disc golf. But now we might take a word. Dogs. You can't please the guy, can you? Now we might have a very quick word from our sponsors. And we are back. Thanks to Guff for all their support, and thanks to Guff for their support of disc golf in general, and for having the only bricks and mortar place where you can go in and look at a rack of frisbees like I do in that ad. Now, the moment that at least Matt Hunter has been waiting for, we're going to give away these 2 frisbees. They've been dyed by Daryl Stace Smith, as he prefers to be known on a Friday night. Jason's going to show off. That is a Opto Moonshine Glow River with the Parked Hardcore logo stamped on it or dyed on it by Daryl. When it spins around, it does do some crazy stuff. So we're going to give that away right now. We promoted in the last episode, and I'm going to spin a wheel. Matt Hunter is sitting in there, absolutely champing at the bit. So I'm going to share a spinning wheel now. This is for the river. Let's see. So what you had to do for this was, that's the river, yeah. Was go onto our Instagram or our Facebook and comment who your 3 favourite card mates would be. And Daz has kindly dyed these and showed us what he can do. So I'm going to spin that wheel now. And the winner of this is the winner of the river. We're going to get it to you. We're going to bring it to Melbourne Celebrates. We're going to send it out. We're going to do something. Here we go. Spinning.
glitching a little bit.
It
so
is glitching a little bit.
It's really keeping it
That's
a
all right.
secret.
Oh, no.
Don't jump the gun.
There it is.
Is that Taryn?
That is Taryn Anderson, I believe. Tasmore Graham has won the river. We will bring that to Melbourne Celebrates this weekend if indeed you are playing. So congratulations, Taryn. Now, the one that you will... Oh, that's also the river.
They're both the river. That's okay. We'll stop the share and Jason and I will fill the air while you can work out what's going on.
We just give it to Matt Hunter.
There'd be riots, Jason. There'd be absolute riots.
I'd like to see someone try and take it off him.
This warship is just hotly contested, how do we say? So it'll be fine.
I don't know why that's not doing it.
Is it the same set of people or a different
Not the same set of people. It's a
that's
different set of people.
That's all right. We can drop this off, and if you want to fix that up while Professor Park comes out.
Yeah, all
That
right.
could work.
Yeah, if you want to go, I might be able to do it. Yeah, all right.
We'll just stop the share, and then I
Yeah,
will
yeah. All right.
take over.
Go for it.
Fantastic. Well, a bit of a tough transition, I'd say, Jason. They've caught me off guard here, but Professor Park is back, and I've been having a sneaky look at some things through the social media waves, you know, your Reddits, your Facebooks, all that jazz, and I stumbled upon quite an interesting little topic.
Right.
And that is, as a volunteer for a tournament, what do you feel volunteers should get as part of their help towards a tournament?
You asked the wrong person here because I believe volunteer is to volunteer.
Yep.
And a favour is a favour.
Mhm.
That's my logic in life. And it's not a favour if you expect something in return. So I believe while we thank the volunteers and we put our hands together for the people that do the wonderful voluntary work, I do believe that if you're willing to volunteer and your heart's in the right place, you're doing it for the right reasons, you'll happily do it for nothing. But anyway, I hope that doesn't ruin your next point.
No, it really doesn't ruin my next point, because my next point is exactly the fact that disc golf's in a very unique spot at the moment where it is heavily reliant on the work of a lot of these volunteers.
Absolutely. Most organised sports are, but yeah, absolutely disc golf is, yes.
So you've got your tournament directors, you've got the people out painting the circles, you've got people coordinating sponsorships, you've got all that is a volunteer work. And then when you go over to the Disc Golf Pro Tour, you've got all of these spotters, all of the scorers, so many people in these volunteer positions. And it starts to make you wonder, Jason, exactly how far can we push the plastic economy? And what people are willing to do for some frisbees or a shirt.
Yep. Fair enough. Fair enough.
So
I see what you're putting down here.
this is, I guess it's less of a segment that we're going to cover off tonight, but more of a bit of investigative work that I'm doing myself, which will pop up every now and again over the rest of the year. But it's something to think about as volunteers or as people running tournaments, you know, how we can make this relationship work between volunteers and a sport that is trying to become more and more professional as we kind of develop. So some thinking caps should be going on our viewers.
Definitely.
Jade's brought up in the chat, over there, volunteers get access when not doing said spotting, etc., which is a fantastic
So is
point.
that access to the course, to play the course, or...
I think it's more like you have a shift at the course, and then outside of that, you can go and have your general admission.
That's like most sporting events. If you're an employee there, if you say working at the races, then you get the same thing. So that's that's obviously a good idea too. But we don't charge admission to.
No, exactly, and I think that's the thing in looking at Formula One as a comparison. So the officials there are mostly volunteers.
Yes,
but
they are all
what they're
volunteers.
getting in terms of reward for volunteering is of a much higher monetary value than, say, someone paying general admission for the European Open.
Yep.
So, yeah, very interesting. And I think the final point that I wanted to bring up was in Maple Hill for the MVP Open, which to deal with certain constraints of volunteers signing up and then never actually showing up, they created a $250 pack that you get for a volunteer, but you as a volunteer have to pay $100. So when people have got skin in the game,
that's definitely when they're invested.
Which, as most of Reddit does, there was quite a few interesting comments on that thread, but it does raise a very interesting question as to how we develop a dedicated volunteer base, or not quite as highly paid position to help disc golf grow sustainably. Because I think that, with all of the European and Estonian disc golf festival at the moment, we're seeing what disc golf can truly become, but how much of that's going to get there off the back of volunteers and free labour?
Fair point.
Yep,
fair point.
Well,
Definitely.
I've planted a seed in Jace's mind, so he's going to be thinking about that non-stop until we come back to it. But to give us all a break from the doom and gloom of thinking about how disc golf's going to grow, let's go give away some Frisbees. Speaking of the plastic economy.
All right, here it is. Jace, if you do the honours, get it up there. I'm going to try one more time to give away this Frisbee.
This look would really good in Matt Hunter's bag.
Matt Hunter, I took it down to the Big Wet to show Matt, and he was pretty excited. Guarantee, if anyone else wins it, be concerned about a black motorcycle showing up outside your house. But here we go. All the names are on there. Everyone that commented is on there that they would like that. It's a warship. It's one of our park discs.
Here we go.
It goes. It's actually spinning.
It's Jack Lemmon.
It's
Oi, oi, Jack.
Oh, dear. All right.
I can't believe Jack actually remembered to sign up for this because he forgot to sign up for the Vic Open.
So there we have it. Jack Lemmon, and who won the other one? Taryn Morgan. So, yeah, I know, Matt. I'm really sorry, but if you want, you can hit up Darren Stace Smith at DSS Dies. Hit him up on Instagram. Do what you need to do. But Daz will do some work for you, reasonably priced. And just give us one more look at that. And that's one of our Park Media warships going Jack Lemmon's way, and the other one going Taryn Morgan's way. Shit, you can't throw rollers with a river, can you?
I think you might be able to.
For God's sake. All right.
Who's Taryn Morgan?
Taryn, no, he's got Tasmagram. Taryn Anderson.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Sorry. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Matty, you left the costume change off the run sheet. What's going on?
Yeah.
All right. So where are you heading at somewhere?
This is date night version, Matty Faz. Yeah, look, my sciatica's screaming at me sitting on the couch here, so I'm going to make an early departure, guys. Some poor woman's wasting her Friday night with me.
So
I'm
you're
about to
going out?
boost.
Are you going out for dinner?
Just drinks, mate. Just drinks.
So you're not hungry then?
I mean, I'm always
thirsty,
hungry.
though.
I'm always hungry.
Well, as Matty's leaving us, and I'm hungry. Kyle, are you hungry?
Yeah, I think I am.
Ash, are you hungry?
Yes.
You know what it's time for, folks. Roll it.
I'm doing a lamb roast.
Serve lamb on Australia Day.
Butcher. Oh, I thought we were going to add the.
That was shit.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I can.
From was it Tara?
I think it's Tara Houston.
Tara
Yeah.
Houston, yeah. So we we're going to work that into the title. So I did mean to tell you that, but I completely forgot to tell Ash. But anyway,
I'll do that.
welcome everybody to the greatest disc golf segment in the free world for another week. We've had some tournaments, we've had some shanks, we've had some action, and I've been sent some shanks. So let's get into it. Now, I do have to start off the bat by making somewhat of an apology
Oh, no.
to a 17-year-old disc golfer from Geelong, who last week I did call. What time is it? Are we after 8:30 yet?
No.
I called him a chase card slut last week. And now, that was intended to put a rocket up in, because that's what I do here. I put rockets up people and then I win tournaments. And it happened. So I do apologise, Rhino. And like I wanted you to, mate, you sure showed me. So congratulations straight off the bat once again to Ryan Hart. Now, what you're probably thinking is that Ryan Hart's just won the big wet for 2024.
He has.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're probably thinking that there's no way in the world that Jason would put him on lamb shanks straight away, would he? Well, guess what? My pick this week, round 2, hole 7, tee shot. Ryan Hart, you know it's coming. Let's have a look.
Oh, there's Jason in the corner.
That's shit.
Oh, shit.
We'll just do.
Whoops. I think he was in the lead at this stage.
Oh, long way.
So, congratulations, Rhino. First of all, for last week winning the big wet. And second of all, for the first time you've been in the shank ever. So well done, mate. But I couldn't leave you out this week. Sorry. But onto the home viewer section of this segment now. I had a couple sent to me. I've forgotten which order they're in, but I'm just going to call them out. I've forgotten who it... Yeah, okay. So this one... this one was sent to me by Lee Thompson of Geelong.
Yep. Got ya.
And yes, it was.
Yep, got ya.
Yeah. And he took this at the big wet as well. And this was of his card mate in the first round or the second round. It would have been the
First, because Lee didn't play the second. He got injured.
Yeah.
But he was on ours in the first round, Don Carter. So it must have been the second.
Oh, he might have followed
Maybe he
him
was just
around.
following.
Yeah, so I'm not sure which hole it is.
It's 17. 18.
18. So it's the one where with the big... Yeah, so Don Carter and Lee has cleared this with his father, Mark, and said, is it okay if I send this one in? So Don, it's nothing to do with me, mate. I just put on what the people asked for.
Don's been screaming to get on
He
this.
has.
He's
He
a
has.
huge
He's
fan.
on our commercial, and I bet you he's been sitting there just thinking, maybe this is my week. Maybe this is my week. Well, this is your week, Don, because Lee has kindly sent this video in. Now, hole 18, you're on a big elevated tee, and is a Mando tree straight ahead. So it takes a big hyzer, a big high hyzer, to get up and around. Now, I will stress that up and around is to the left. So the hyzer is to go as a natural, straight round to the left. Have a look where Don decided to throw it.
It's just a righty backhand, isn't it?
It is.
Oh, it's ripped. Yeah. Oh, no, mate.
What on earth was that?
We'll get a close up in the replay.
He turned over about there.
Right at the point where it flips, you can
And
see it just
off
in the
it
top of
goes to the right. And it's not coming back, Don.
Jeepers.
And I'm pretty sure Lee says just straight after the shot, well, at least it's out in the open.
He does. At least it's out in the open, mate. He did send us a screenshot of exactly where Don's lie was, but I what's the term? Couldn't be fucked.
So, well done, Don. We've had a couple of lamb shank virgins this week. First time into the tank. So, thank you very much for your efforts, boys. Thank you, Lee, for sending it in. Thank you, Don, for the shank. Thank you very much. Now, we have got one more. And this was sent by a Parked Media favourite. There was a caption involved, so I'm just going to bring it up. Dan Frost, who, a long-time supporter of the show, has kindly sent in a shank from one of our all-time favourites, and I know he's in the chat because I've seen him, is the dog, Austin D'Alessandro, from, I've forgotten which hole it is, 20, it'll be, and it's a Canberra tournament, so it'll be like 37 or something. Yeah. I think it's hole 24 from the Drizzler. So Dan has kindly sent this in, and I'm not sure if the dog knows about it or not, but this is what the dog managed at the Drizzler.
Oh. I don't think this fits now.
I'm pretty sure the caption was
But he says at the end there.
Oh,
the
shit.
tech disc is not going to fix that. So he says something like, I'm going to try to bring the email up, but Dan had told me the quote at the end, and it was a tech disc is not going to do much about that.
Ain't no tech desk fixing that.
So, and he looks like, I've seen the dog at hole 24 of a tournament before behaving like that. And I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, he's well and truly ready to go home.
Well, that was a pretty, for Austin on the 24th hole of a tournament, that was a pretty sensible line, I would have thought.
I think so,
See
yeah.
the way he held it back by when he threw it and it hit the tree, just went like he's just holding himself from falling over the edge. So once again, thank you, Dan Frost, for all your hard work. Thank you for the video. Thank you, Ozdog, for that tremendous shank. And thank you, Park family. That's been Lamb Shanks for another episode.
What are you doing?
Woo! All right, well, it is 8 o'clock here on the East Coast. So we're going to wrap up. That's all we have time for tonight. I've got Professor parked on my run sheet, but he's cunningly stepped in because I fucked up the spinning wheels. Congratulations to our winners of the discs. We'll figure out how to get them to you. Thanks to Reese Valios, first of all, for his work getting us to Pinelines. Second of all, for coming on tonight and giving us his time and going out and buying new headphones halfway through. Thank you to our sponsors, for Guff, who gets behind Parked in a big way. Oz Discs and Heiser Flight on behalf of me. Disc Golf Warehouse on behalf of Kyle. A Jindy Disc Golf Shop, if they know they still sponsor Jason and Matty.
Jindy!
Tommy Tulip for just throwing money down a well. And thank you to all.
It's about spirit. And we bring spirit, Matty and I.
It's that rock star energy,
I'll get you a
Jason.
win soon, Tommy. Don't worry.
Yeah. He's playing MJ15, but sure. He still get thumped. So, yeah, we're going to wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. Those of you coming to Melbourne Celebrates, we will have Parked hoodies if we cut back to Jason and Kyle. We've got a select few of those left. We've got some Parked T-shirts, and we've got more of those Parked discs. We've got Rivers, we've got Warships, we've got one soft berg, and we've got a handful of justices as well. We might even do some discounts for the weekend to get them in your hands and in your bag.
Whoa!
And we've got some Parked Media patches as well. Let's see if we got...
Some Ohula.
Can't put my hand... Here we go. We've got some Parked Media patches, which you can see on the front of that cap there very clearly. So they're going to be a couple of bucks. So come find us. You've got a bit of Anthony Barella about you there, Jace. Come find us at Melbourne Celebrates, and we'll sell you some stuff. Subscribe, like, share, follow us on YouTube. We've got more. We've got the Wallaby Hill Tassie Open footage coming out very, very soon, which is really exciting for you guys to see a course that you may not have played. And that's about it from the Parked Clubhouse this weekend. We'll see you at Melbourne Celebrates over the weekend. Otherwise, we'll see you at Pinelines. Thanks for playing, legends, and we will see you next time.